Happy Monday, folks, and welcome back to WWE Network Show, where every single week right here on the show, I break down all the content that I watch on the WWE Network, including on the E! Network, with my weekly reviews of Total Divas. And today we're talking Season 7, Episode 9, 3 Alarm Fire, airing last Wednesday on the E! Network. So, as I always do, I'll be recapping the episode with kind of a play-by-play style, and then giving my thoughts on it along the way. Breaking it up into two separate stories. So we had a few different stories with Natalya kind of en route to winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. We got a bit on her, quite a bit on her, in the early portion of the episode. Then it was largely about Nia Jax, a bit about the Bella Twins, and then we came full circle with Naomi and Natalya at the end. So we'll talk about Natalya's story first. So we kick off the episode with Dolph Ziggler and Lana, Rusev, and they're all at a bar, Naomi too, and the Usos. Or at least Jimmy Uso. Dolph Ziggler tells Lana that drinking wine will make her more vascular. Whether that's accurate or not, I have no idea. Lana and Natalya continue to tease more tension. So in that very moment, right after Ziggler says that, Lana and Natalya go back and forth. Lana's like, oh, I'm so excited you're taking acting classes. Like, oh, I'm so happy for you. It's going to be great for you. It's going to be great. She goes on and on and on. Natalya's like, just shut the fuck up. Again, maybe not in those exact words, but she's like, okay, just quiet, Lana. So Natalya does indeed go for acting classes ahead of SummerSlam with Naomi. Lana calls him up saying, oh, why didn't you wait for me? I wanted to go too. And Natalya's like, oh, fuck you. We're going anyway. We're going to be late. I got an appearance going on right before SummerSlam, so I got to get to this thing before I got to do that appearance. So Naomi goes with her. It's at, I think, the Broadway stage in New York City. Obviously, SummerSlam is in at the Barclays every year, but WWE is in New York City pretty much all week long for the SummerSlam stuff ahead of the pay-per-view. So I think they go to the Broadway stage because that's where they do the exercises. They do like lip exercises, projecting their voice. Naomi gets it right off the bat. Natalya, not so much. She gets stage fright. Despite the fact that she can wrestle in front of thousands of people every single night, she still gets stage fright when it comes to promos and, you know, getting nervous in front of this one guy, this acting coach. Naomi thinks he's doing an amazing job. Natalya also thinks he's doing a good job, but she's very scared to kind of go forward with it. Eventually, she gets it after the guy's like in the balcony trying to hear her project her voice. She eventually gets it, and then they try out their new skills in the middle of New York City. Natalya and Naomi going back and forth, asking people surrounding them, you know, who was the better in that verbal sparring, and people said Natalya. It came across so goofy for them to be going back and forth with their WWE-style promos. And Naomi's like, oh, you have time to feel the glow. It's like, this sounded so stupid. Like, if you took a WWE interaction, which their dialogue sucks anyway, in a WWE setting, you take that and put it in a real-life setting, it sounds even more stupid. It sounds even dumber than it would in a WWE show, on a WWE program. So anyway, that was just funny. So Natalya, at the end of the episode, I'll talk about the Nia stuff in a second. Natalya shows up to SummerSlam with Tyson Kidd, and it's logical that he would be there. But I note that because we have not seen Tyson Kidd, TJ, since they took him off the show, like a season ago. He has not been on the show in quite some time. I don't think all of Season 7. I forgot if he was on Season 6 or not. I don't remember. But yeah, he's there to support Natalya in her quest to become SmackDown Women's Champion on the show. Ultimately, she does win the title by beating Naomi on the pay-per-view. She goes backstage, and everyone congratulates her. The Bella Twins, Carmella, Lana even gives her a hug. Finlay's there. She starts breaking down crying. And obviously, Finlay has been a big proponent of the women's division of women's wrestling long before the women's evolution, Divas Revolution started years ago. Like, Finlay's been working with those girls a long, long time. The guy is an unsung hero when it comes to women's wrestling. But anyway, a cool moment. So going back to Nia, in the last episode of Total Divas, which I talked about right here on the channel last week, so if you haven't already, check out that review right here on the channel. She was looking for a date to the Sex and the City party in New York City. She's not currently involved with anyone. She wanted a date, and in order to fit her character that she's portraying for the Sex and the City party, it should have been a firefighter. So she goes back to another firehouse. She was doing a dating thing, like the speed dating thing at a firehouse, meeting firefighters in the last episode. All but one of them were all fucking weird and odd, and they were just super strange. She does meet one guy that she likes, gets his number, and then she didn't talk to him after that. So she goes back to another firehouse here with the Bella Twins, not to flirt or mingle with anyone, but just to give out free like cookies or something like that. They go to the firehouse to donate something, and they ended up trying out the fireman equipment and on the clothes and on the fire truck and stuff, so they get the full experience there. Nia Jax goes shopping for clothes, what to wear for this big party. While there with the Bella Twins, she starts crying because she's nervous that no one's going to like her, and she's still insecure about her size and her weight and stuff like that. The Bellas make her feel more confident. After that, Brie and Nikki are talking about, what they're going to be doing throughout the week before SummerSlam, and Brie's like, oh, we should do this, and Nikki's like, oh, I can't, I got an appearance, why don't you just come with me? Brie's like, I don't really want to go, I don't want to be sitting in the background. Nikki's like, oh, come on, people want to see you, and Brie's like, no, I'm good, so she doesn't go, because she feels left out, and kind of playing off what was teased in the last episode, that she wants to be more involved with WWE and doing more appearances and activities and stuff like that. More public stuff. So anyway, Nia Jax invites the firefighter to the party, the one from that she met last episode. She still is not completely 100% sure that he's going to go, but she tried. Now that she's feeling more confident, she's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll invite him. If he doesn't show up, then whatever. So Nikki talks to Brie real quick about the signing, saying that people missed Brie. They were asking where Brie was, and that Nikki had to sign some Brie merch because Brie wasn't there. And Brie kind of makes her feel good. She's like, okay, I want to be contacted, though. I'm waiting to be contacted by WWE. Nikki's like, dude, you can't do that. You got to grab the bull by the horns and ask them if you can come back. I would take the same exact approach, so I'm not blaming Brie here because I'm that same type of person where I don't really go forward with certain stuff and I wait to be approached. That's just how I am. I assume Brie's the same way. But Nikki's like, dude, if you really want to come back, they haven't forgotten about you. But you just got to ask to be brought back and do appearances. That's all. So anyway, they take a party bus from their hotel to the Sex and the City party. Nia's firefighter shows up. He hits it off with everybody. Nia's like nervous that he doesn't like her and that he's laughing behind her back. And Brie's like, dude, calm down. He's really, really nice. He's super sweet. He loves you. Don't worry. Maybe not loves you, but they're hitting it off. And she starts to get that feeling as well as the night progresses. So she plans a surprise fashion show at the party with all these plus-size women, including herself, as the main event. And she feels super confident and goes off really, really well. All the girls are cheering her on. She comes across as happy and healthy, all this other stuff. It's great. So the firefighter is still there. He ends up showing up at the party, and much to her surprise. I already mentioned that, though. But yeah, they hit it off. They interact a lot, and they kind of get each other from what it looks like. And they end up walking off, and Nia's like, okay, don't have the cameras follow me. And there's a lot of talk about it the next day when Nia's with the girls, with Lana and the twins. And she's like, that was one of the best nights of my life. The night went great. Everyone had fun. So they get to dinner, or lunch, or whatever the fuck. And the girls ask Nia, did you Google him? And Nia's like, no, I didn't really think to. I wouldn't think to either. I mean, maybe it's different for girls with guys than it is with guys for girls. I would never, maybe not Google. I think a lot of people search people up on Facebook. That's something my roommate used to do. Honestly, I don't really get it. I think it's stupid. Unless you want to see if someone's in a relationship. That might be a big no-no, obviously. But beyond that, who gives a fuck? Who really cares? And don't really do it unless you have a reason to think or you're suspicious that they might be in a relationship or you want to see their background. Just Googling someone for the sake of Googling someone is dumb, just to find out more about them or whatever. So Brie Googles the guy and finds out that he's a hot porn actor. So obviously they have a big laugh over this. Nia's laughing, but she's crying on the inside like, oh man, I finally meet this one really nice guy, and he's a fucking porn actor. No pun intended. So she shares the video of the porn stuff with Miz and other people backstage at SummerSlam. Why they would want to see that, I have no idea, at least the guys anyway. And Lana brings up a great point. It's like, okay, maybe he did that a while ago. He obviously looks different. He doesn't do that anymore. Maybe he needed the money, Brie brings up. So what's the issue here? If it's not that, if he doesn't do that anymore, then who cares? So that we don't really get an answer one way or the other whether Nia continues to plan to talk to him or not, or if she's just going to completely cut him off. But things went so well the night prior, then why wouldn't you continue to pursue that? I mean, obviously this is all staged, and they probably knew from the get-go the guy was a porn actor, but it's like, why wouldn't you continue to pursue it? Especially if it's something that he had done early on in his life, and he wasn't thinking or whatever. At this point, if he's single, and he hadn't done that in a long time, then who gives a fuck? Who cares? And Nia even says, I'm not judging. It is a little weird, obviously, and it takes her, back a bit. But beyond that, they hit it off the night prior. I don't see the problem with it. So anyway, the Bella Twins are late for SummerSlam. They think the show started at 8 and not 7. Weren't they a part of SummerSlam? At least Nikki was in 2015 and 2016 when it started at 7. I guess they got a lot of stuff going on. They forget all the time. It's only the big 4 pay-per-views now that start at 7 Eastern time. So they're late for the show. Nikki's got to watch the show on her phone, at least Cena's match. So she's late for the start of the show, and she can't miss her future husband's match. So she watches the beginning of it on her phone on the way there. She gets there just in time to watch the ending, and they make it just in time to watch the SmackDown Women's title match between Naomi and Natalya, as I talked about earlier. So real quick, this episode is worth noting for the last thing that we see with Brie to close out the episode. Not the very last thing. That was the Natalya title win. But right before that, Brie goes with Nikki to SummerSlam backstage. And Nikki, again, advises Brie, you got to go talk to Mark. If there's any time to go approach him and ask him about coming back, it's right now. So Brie does that. She takes Birdie Joe and Nikki with her in tow to talk to Mark Carrano, the not director of talent relations, but I guess he's the director of talent relations. I forgot exactly what his title is, but it's something along those lines where he deals with that type of stuff. She talks to him, and unsurprisingly, he says, yeah, we would love to have you back. We'll work out the creative plans and see what we can do. And Nikki kind of does the same thing, and he suggests a potential run from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. So there was a lot of dirt sheets picking this up over the past week. Like, did they spoil a return at the Royal Rumble? We already know they're coming back for Raw 25 next Monday. Not in an in-ring role, but they will be appearing on the show. Could they be announcing their, return in the Royal Rumble match? I don't doubt it at all. I actually kind of expect them to be in the match. Both of them, if not at least just one of them. At least Brie, I think. If not Nikki too, because Nikki I think can come back pretty much any time. She didn't really ride off into the sunset the same way that Brie did at WrestleMania 32. But I do think I thought it'd be just a one-off, but I guess they could be coming back as the Twins in time for WrestleMania. I like the Bella Twins more now than I have in the past. I was never really high on them as a unit. I like Nikki a lot more on her own, and as a babyface, as a heel act, it's, to me, just unbearable. Been there, done that. If they want to do their own babyface thing going into WrestleMania, on SmackDown maybe, I'm fine with that. But hopefully, as a team, again, on their own, I'm more interested, but as a team, they gotta be babyfaces, but that's just me. So anyway, that was one thing worth noting from this episode. I'm not exactly sure if they spoiled it or not, otherwise they wouldn't have put it on here, but I think a lot of us already expected the Twins, at least one of them, to be in the Women's Royal Rumble coming up. So anyway, that was Season 7, Episode 9 of Total Divas, entitled 3 Alarm Fire. I will be back next Monday with another review of a Total Divas episode airing this week on the E! Network at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So until then, guys, check out all the other content going up here on the channel this week, including WrestleRant videos, hashtag AskGSM, WrestleRant radio excerpts, random video blogs, injection of inspiration, all the other editions of WWE Network and Chill, all that stuff right here on the channel. Hit that subscribe button to get that daily content. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, all that stuff amazingly appreciated. Have an awesome rest of your week, guys. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.